Let's go.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
It's
everybody.
been a minute since we've been around town.
Out there in Radio Land, USA.
All right, there, Casey Kasem.
In Radio Land, USA.
Why do I always got to talk about these freaking dogs?
You know, they do this to me every time.
Well,
How
hey.
can you follow up an up-tempo with a dead story about a dead dog?
Oh, man. So we're back. It's been, well, not really been a while. We got, been a minute, I guess. I don't know.
More or less.
Whatever. We're back.
Well, we're back. We're new. We're improved.
That's right. That's
This
right. This
is
the new
Deep Dive Daddies.
So I guess kind of like to get this started off, Alex, tell the audience what we're doing.
Tell the audience what they've won. So we're doing things a bit different around here.
Oh, you don't say?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Well, everybody and they mama
Mm-hmm.
and even they grandmama they got an opinion about movies.
Oh, man, that's 21 Savage.
It
At
is.
your grandma's house, at your mama's house. Yeah.
Wet in your grandma's house, wet in your mama's house, wet in your pants, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I don't know. Let's just be real with the audience right now.
Yeah.
Doing movies every week, clearly even before the break and this extended break that we've been on has really burnt us out. And I think it's the DC movies that really did it for both of us.
Yeah.
Things were climbing up that hill a little bit better, and but it's just the mundane.
Yeah, I felt like we had stuff to add, stuff to talk about, but
What's the opinion? The opinion is new.
yeah, it's directors are messing up. They just don't make movies like they used to, I guess.
Hollywood is repeating itself.
Yeah, it's just like video games, which is why we don't cover those anymore either. Because
Nope.
I've been playing the same game since like 2000,
We did one game.
the year 2000. They just rehashed they're like, but what if it had better graphics?
Everybody looked at this market right now and they said, "Why can't it be the year 2000?"
Yeah, it is.
I want to live in the
The
year
year
2000. So we're switching things up here. The format's going to change. We hope that you continue to want to listen along as we go through this journey. Me and Chris are amateur history buffs, and we decided that we're going to take this down a new path. We're going to go hit you guys with some real deep dive facts, and so we're no longer associated with the two captives that were in the basement. We're new. We're improved as the new deep dive daddies. We're still hating on the new Deep Dive Daddy Sports. Still not affiliated.
Yeah, still not affiliated. Never will be affiliated.
Catch
Change
these
your name.
hands. Catch these hands.
Catch them like Pokemon. You're gonna get them all.
Oh my God! Every day.
Bars. But yeah, I think to your point, yeah, we're definitely not historians. We definitely love like all cultures, right? I love learning about new cultures, and just want to have a good time, and definitely understand like one man's like, especially with some of the people we're going to be talking about. Liberator is definitely another man's tyrant, but that's how history goes, right?
Right. But to add on to that point, we are switching the format. The new format is we're going to be doing an actual deep dive on historic figures that that catch our eye a little bit, and that really have something to be said about them. So, welcome to the new Deep Dive Daddies.
But there's a little twist.
Uh-oh, what's the twist?
Little twist.
Uh-oh,
See, we're
hold
not
on,
just
M.
gonna
Night
cover-
Shyam.
Okay, we're not just going to cover the history.
We're gonna live it.
No, well, I wish, but then we just be weird LARPers.
Oh,
So-
well,
We'll live a little bit of it. And what we're going to do by that is we're going to be brewing a drink that they would be drinking from that period. So,
it's no surprise we like to drink beer.
yeah, a little bit. So we're like, hey, why not? Why not, kind of taste what they taste?
You go where I go, defile what I defile, eat who I eat.
Maybe it'll get us in the mindset, right? And the plan is to come back around and do a review of the drink that we make, along with like maybe a little bit of an update, or a little bit of a blurb from the history, or maybe just another episode.
I
But
think another episode would be fine.
yeah,
So we brew during one ep, and then after we try, when the brew is ready, we cover another person from that same historic period, and we do a taste test.
yeah, I like it, love it, want some more of it. So yeah, we're going to definitely be sharing recipes and stuff like that. This week we're doing what's called pulque. I think I said that right. Pulque. Because guess where we're going?
Where are we going, Chris?
Well, actually-
Where's the Imaginatorium vehicle going to take us today?
Well, we're actually going to Spain, so this is a little
Oh.
bit different. But the people that were conquered by the Spaniards, you'll find out, drank this, and that's something I feel like we should honor those people because really they got the short end,
They got the big short end of
as
the
you guys
stick.
will see. So at Poke, let me read you a little bit of the history of this. So according to Wikipedia, is an alcoholic beverage made from the fermented sap of the agave plant. It's traditional in this central Mexico, where it has been produced for millennia. It has the color of milk, and it's rather viscous consistency of sour yeast-like taste. So the drink's history actually extends far back into the Mesoamerican period when it was considered sacred, and its use was limited to certain classes of people. After the Spanish conquest of Mexico, the drink became secular and its consumption rose. The consumption of pulque reached its peak in the late 19th century, and in the 20th century, the drink fell into decline, mostly because of competition from beer, which became more prevalent with the arrival of European immigrants.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, right? So there's some efforts to revive the drink's popularity through tourism and this show. So the whole point is I want to try the rare stuff, like beer's fine. And we got people brewing IPAs, we got people brewing sours now. That's the new hip thing, because I can't find one to save my life. But you know what? We're bringing back. We're gonna start trying some weird stuff. So hopefully you'll enjoy some of this stuff. As far as the recipe goes, today we're gonna be brewing. Let me just read this to you. You can write this down, do what you want to do with it. But
Follow along in the
yeah.
actual notes. We'll post it in there as well.
Exactly. And for people that don't brew out there and would like to try some, we're looking into ways of making that work for you. But that's we got to get that worked out.
Perfect the
logistically.
craft, and then when it's ready, we'll let you know.
Yeah. But the recipe we're going to be using today, it's going to be, this is your basic pulque recipe. We're not trying to break the mold here, but 4 gallons of spring water, and 8.5 pounds of dark agave nectar. And then this one calls for coriander. I'm actually not going to put the
That's
coriander.
what that bottle is. I was
Yeah.
trying to figure out what I was looking at. I was like, did you brew a separate amount of cider in that bottle? But it's the...
No, yeah, the cider's, we got some cider we're going to be bottling up too, because that's just good stuff. And then 1 pack of champagne yeast. So basically what you're going to do is just boil it for 20 minutes and stir it occasionally. And then you can put the coriander seeds in there. I don't know if that acts as a preservative, but we're doing our recipe without the coriander because I just don't have that much coriander. I was able to find it. It's not really that much, but it's only like a half ounce.
Yeah.
I just couldn't find a half ounce in the time that we had. But yeah, so just put that in the bucket, let it sit for 2 weeks, and then it should come out like thick and look. But we'll give the review after that. But that's basically it. If you can make water, you can make beer.
I've heard it tastes like a carbonated, carbonated tequila?
Yeah, which that kind of sounds pretty cool.
It actually does.
Right? And maybe we'll have to do a history of beer episode because there's like a lot there too, like for the purity laws.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be kind of fun to do and cover that. We could cover any brew we wanted to cover, and we could probably do some of the old Groot ale stuff. But anyway, that's kind of what we got going on, and that's what we're brewing. So let's get this going.
Well,
So-
let's first give a good clue as to which historical figure we're pulling out of the bucket today.
That's right. It's Hernán Cortés, Yucatan Cornelius himself.
Yucatan Cornelius.
He hates. Well, I don't want to. I don't know if I should.
He
say he doesn't like.
he's a
Yetis.
guy. He's or his Yetis. We'll say
Yeah.
that.
He definitely shares a lot of similarities. Loves gold, doesn't like the locals, and definitely will do
Wants
whatever
to
it takes.
eradicate the area.
I don't know if he licks his pickaxe though. I don't know if this guy does that. But,
Hey, he's looking something.
but anyway, let me take you back, Alex. So I'm going to take you back, kind of back to the history of Spain, right? So Spain, if you didn't know, is over in Europe.
No, is it really?
But yeah, it's a place in many ways was conquered by a lot of different distinct cultures, actually. So the Vandals and the Alans are just a couple like examples of like who that was. Those are different tribes, but it can range from like the Visigoths, the Goths, the Romans. I think, in Medellin, right?
So we're just pouring a bunch of people
Yeah,
into and just stirring it up.
Stirring it up big time, right? So that you had like it started out like most of the places were conquered from the around, like I think the Iberian, like local people that were the indigenous people. Romans moved in, did their thing, and that's when I think it went like kind of on the map, right? There was like, we're not going to the prehistory of the Roman Empire. We're just going to start where usually everybody starts, right? With Rome. And Rome hung out there for a while. Then obviously Rome went bust, right? It wasn't part of the Byzantine area of Rome.
Rome's politicians couldn't figure out a budget to help with the debt crisis that was going on, so their government had to shut down.
Yeah, I mean, we could get into Rome all day.
I hope by the time this episode's out, we figured out something. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch.
Heard that, Mitchius?
Mitchius McConnellus.
Mitchius McConnellus Maximus II.
Yeah, it's Mitchimus.
But so yeah, the history of medieval Spain kind of begins there, right? And I think that the Iberian kingdom of the Arianist Goths, not the Aryans that you know, but that was the Aryans before the Rome came in. And actually, this is actually after when Rome fell. They actually converted over to Catholicism with King, I think, Ricard in 587. So
seems to be the most popular thing of that time.
Oh yeah, Constantine was he was a big player in that, right? Maybe we can do an episode on that guy.
Are you guys bored? Let's just convert to Catholicism.
Everyone just
makes it a little spicy.
Just get a little spicy there. But and I think these are all from obviously 80. So this is roughly after, quite a bit after the fall of everything. Because I think, if I remember correctly, this is kind of a ways down, but it makes sense because we don't have all day. From there, the Uyamads, which is a Muslim caliphate, decided that they were going to start getting their britches big, so they came in and they went ahead and ousted those guys as far as that stuff goes. So kind of being invaded by those guys, and then I think the Moors, which is another caliphate, if I'm not mistaken. And so there was and I mean, to their credit, the Visigoths were not just lambs to the slaughter. They fought back, and a lot of there was just a lot of war, right? A ton of wars, but the Uyamads, maybe we got to do an episode on them too, because they're pretty cool. They're just a pretty good force that eventually came over. So through 700 years of war, the borders kind of went back and forth. So this is we always talk about the 100 Years' War, but what about the 700 Years' War in Spain?
Right.
Where's that at? There's probably some cool stories there, right?
This is all before the wars that we just took to build the borders of our great country.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, we haven't even reached 700 years yet.
We haven't reached 700 years, but
we'll get there.
We've accomplished a lot.
We've got about 200 years of war.
With 200 years of war, what's another 2, and we start to come over to Europe. This is America too.
Yeah, I wonder if every country is just in a constant state of warfare. I don't know. It probably is.
Keeping up the borders.
And much of the period is marked by conflict between Muslims and Christian states in between this time.
Surprise.
I mean, tell us all this time, right? And those came to be referred as a reconquista, or the reconquest, right? Because we just want to take it back, because we're going to get Spain back to Spain, So the medieval centuries also witnessed episodes of warfare between Spain's Christian states and the Taifas. I don't know if that was a different type of caliphate, but yeah, that was also another Muslim state. So wars between the crown of Aragon and the crown of Castile were sparked by dynastic rivalry. So I'm not talking about that Mr. Viggo Mortensen. He's just out there forever and a decade. He's just been around for a while.
I think he was 100, almost 100 years old at the time of the siege of the White Cliffs Castle. White Castle, the siege of White Castle. They had so many
with the Harold and Kumar from the commanders of the armies.
I mean,
but to be fair, fun fact about this: so Viggo Mortensen did play Aragon, but he was also in a movie called Hidalgo.
Yeah,
Hidalgo is also another Spanish word. So I don't know, maybe Mortensen's got some more ties. The whole goes down deep, because the Hidalgos, I think, if I was not mistaken, was a lower form of aristocracy. They were aristocrats, but they were poor aristocrats. I think that's what the Hidalgos were. But don't quote me on that one, because that's a
The movie's about a race, isn't it, with a
I think
horse?
with a horse called Hidalgo.
Oh.
Hidalgo. Back to the point. So that went on for another. Once if they weren't fighting with the Muslims, they were fighting in between each other. They weren't fighting in between each other. They were fighting against other Muslims, and so there's just a lot of war going on. So when the Germanic peoples invaded the provinces, we're talking about I guess this is still like around the time, right? It's just like Spain's popping, dog.
They are, and they're watching those two people fight, or groups of people fight, and they're like, oh,
It's like, what if we just put ourselves in here? But it ended up producing all this conflict ended up being producing the people of like Scythian, Tartar, like Vandals, Suebians, Germanic races. So like Spain's got like some history, and plus the Iberian people too. And I think that there's also the one of the Indo-European tribes in there that like was responsible for most of like Stonehenge and everything like that too, was also included in the makeup of the genetics there.
or the aliens, the Anunnaki.
But yeah, so so the Western Goths kind of just took leadership, and this is kind of like going on for a minute. So I think there's some cool things here. There's one cool story about a guy that I think would be cool to do a story on, and his son got like eaten by a bear that I found, and it was really really cool. But yeah, I mean, like he was fighting a bear, so that's the whole point of it. It was just a really cool story. But we're gonna.
I mean, isn't that in the 1800s?
Yeah, that was another cool story. But I think his son just died by the Val Kilmer. So
No, I was
it wasn't Val Kilmer.
the Revenant. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why I called him Val Kilmer. I just can't think of his name. Tom Hardy. There we go.
Oh yeah.
They
Not even the
they
same
even look
person.
alike. But yeah, there's a lot of heroes that came out of this period, I guess, or heroic stories rather, because yeah, everyone did whatever they wanted to do, and so we'll just put it like that. So anyway, we kind of move back here to the Reconquista, right? So a little bit before we enter into the Age of Conquest was got to take it back, right? Or I guess the very first tent revival, if you will. We're bringing them back to God, so during this time, I think it was Rodrigo Diaz de Vivar was the El Cid. So he was like a big player. That might be another thing we could do something on too. There's just so many things that are just awesome.
I would like to make a disclaimer before we get into any more of this. We are not very well versed in the Spanish dictation and culture.
Oh, I'm gonna butcher it.
We're going to be botching names left and right. As another note, we are very accepting of all peoples, and these are just jokes. It's not anything that we need to. I'm saying if we were not out here to offend.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was saying at the beginning of this
Okay.
disclaimer, because I was like, yeah, I don't know. We love everybody, and I love culture, so I'm not out here to defend. And if I'm taking the piss out of somebody, I'm going to take the piss out of everybody else just the same.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the Muslim invasion actually encouraged like Goths, Hispano-Romans, and everybody else to gather together, right? Like, and this is basically what they did. They just went through province to province, and I think the chief kingdom was Asturias, if I'm not mistaken. So they found a retreat in the mountains. The fugitive Goths did, and that's where they were able to establish a base. So coming from there, like the guy named Don Peleo or Pelagius, he was the victor at a place called Covandonga, and took up, I'm going to mess this up. I'm like, Congas
No,
del Vengado.
Covandonga.
I probably said that totally wrong.
I don't
It's all
care.
right,
It made
though.
me laugh. It's a sausage city, Covandonga.
But there's people like Friulia 1, the first. Friulia 1, chapter 2. No, the Friulia the first. And
Sevilla for one? For one?
all this was going on too, and we talked about the Germanic people, but I should have said more specifically the Vikings. So they were also invading Gaul and like all these other places. So they're involved too while this is going. But oddly enough, the Vikings kind of got their butt kicked when they came in here because like you had to deal
But
with.
they're sea people.
That's true. Well, I mean, it's a peninsula, so.
Yeah, but I mean, how far on the land can you go? It's a real Johnny Depp, or no, it's a real Davy Jones in the land. You got to have that heart in the sea.
It's true. Well, there's a game I played back when we were kids, and I don't know if you remember this game, but New Horizons.
Yeah, I do.
Now, like, I wish that, like, because I've always just, like I said, loved learning about history and just the different stories. Now, this would have been a story, like, when you're, like, because remember that story where you set out from Spain?
Aren't you
or whatever?
or is
You're
it,
like a
no, it's
girl.
Portugal, isn't it?
Well, there's one where you do set up from Portugal, but that guy is, which is, like, in the same area. They're very close. But, yeah, you set out from Spain with the girl, and she, like, becomes a pirate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you like start blowing up all the rest of the ships. Well, I actually made it over to the Americas, and they have like all this stuff over there. But like all the natives are like all happy and stuff like that. And I was like reading history now. I'm like, wow, this game.
Who made this game? Probably a bunch of Europeans.
Probably, because there is very like, hey,
They are
everybody's
so happy to see you.
You're gonna love our coconut juice, sailor.
Pina coladas, anybody?
Yeah, everybody's having a good time, and you would die if you didn't bring enough food on your ship. That was a fun game.
So that's a dope game.
It
There's
is.
many like profiles that you could play on that as like preloaded characters.
Yeah, I had it on my SNES Mini. Me and the boy play it all the time.
Woo.
It's a fire game. They have another one with the Three Kingdoms. It's another interesting one.
I haven't played that one.
Yeah, I played it a long time ago. But anyway, back to the story. We keep getting distracted here. That's my fault. But that kind of had to do something to do with it. But another thing was, anyway, this goes on for a while. Sancho III comes in. He's doing some stuff. They're all moving. Everyone's working together. And eventually Spain gets reunited, right? So it looks like, and that's around, I think, the 1300s is when that happens. But it was actually kind of close up until the time we're going to be getting to as well, too. I think the finality of Spain finally came in, I think, around like the 1400s as well. So it wasn't very long before Columbus is starting to sail in the age of exploration and a lot of stuff happened. So, yeah, it looks like Spanish kingdoms did form back up in the 1360s. So that was due to the fact, I think it was the kings of Leon that were like, hey, where you laying? But they were the people that were big players in that. So definitely a lot of interesting stuff going on in developing this. So you have a lot of like warring countries that produce the I guess the men we're about to see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Getting into the depths of the history, and that's kind of why I thought this is important, is seeing like the events that like led up to what it produced. So we have these people that are in a constant state of war all the time. It's like basically just forever. A lot of these provinces were poor, and a lot of these provinces were based off of just like, I don't want this guy coming in, an invader. I want you out. And then the invaders are like, we want to stay here. You know, it's just a lot of back and forth. So I can see where a lot of the
Getting us a whole bunch of make me.
no you, a lot of whole no you kingdom, like get out of our kingdom, no you. You mad?
For real.
And so I think that it kind of like does a good job illustrating like the kind of people we're looking at here. It wasn't like these people just woke up one day and you're like, you know what, I'm going to go do what the Moors and the Uyumads did to me, because that was fun, right? Probably like a lot of pride from kicking out the aggressors and like, you know, like the stuff that came through with the Crusades and everything like that. The crimes against humanity up the wazoo. Like it just produced a lot of hard people who were not really, I would say, empathetic to others that were not part of their tribe. And that's, I would say, just human history in general, right?
Let's all become a little more accepting, everybody. Am I right?
Well, I think we've done it. I think we've done it great.
In an age where we live, where technology is at our fingertips, we can become a little bit nicer.
Why you boring me? I'm right.
You know, reading history, I think we have, like, we're pretty soft, one.
Pretty mellow in
Comparison, yeah. Like, we don't see as much foreign aggression over resources as we would if this is like the old mindset and they had the weapons. If these people had the weapons that we had, like back in the day, forget about it.
There wouldn't be it today.
They'd just be going full. They're like, oh, okay, cool. We'll just kill everything.
Just fire it off. Who cares? Fire it off.
Yeah, just do it. So I think that, you know, like at mankind as a whole, as like we're still got ways to go, obviously, but I I personally think that we've gotten better, like on the
We're getting
timeline,
there.
as far as like how we treat our enemies, and some of the things probably we do aren't okay, and probably they had a little more respect for rich people, but that's how it always goes. If you're rich, usually like you end
You
up
have more power and
yeah,
influence.
so you don't get treated as poorly.
However, humanity, I ain't mad at it.
This is the catchphrase.
Get the catchphrase, get the t-shirt.
Say the line, Bart.
I ain't mad at it.
So that'll bring us to our, I guess, our little quiet town, little quiet village, so to speak. So Medellin is a village, according to Wikipedia, is a village in the province of Badajoz, Extremadura, Spain, notable in both the birthplace of Hernán Cortés, who we're covering, and the site of the Battle of Medellin during the Peninsular War, the second largest city in Colombia. Why does it say Colombia? Because there is a Medellin in Colombia, so I guess they included that in the Wikipedia description for some reason. Thank you, Wikipedia.
It's almost as if somebody came over
and edited it.
and edited it, but like, oh hey, why don't we name this? It's kind of like our town is like a sister city to Russia.
Oh,
Why? Who even knows?
just wait. There's a whole list I prepared, so we can go over the list of names where like going over to New Spain and New. They started calling.
Well, we did this. We did the same thing here in the Americas. We're like, oh,
What is the name?
no, I mean like
Yeah.
the United States.
Okay.
Thank you very much. When we're like, oh, we need a name for this one. Why don't we just call it New Mexico?
Why don't we call it New York? Which is New Mexico is actually interesting because Mexico hadn't been formed when the colonies were formed, or Mexico hadn't been formed when the colonies were formed, because Mexico came after this. We're actually getting into the story of how Mexico.
Why don't we just call it
was
New
formed.
Hampshire?
Yeah, well, Hampshire is a place in England.
I know. I was so
Like,
sick
we'll
of
call
that
it
place. We'll call it the New.
New Deep Dive Daddies.
You stole my joke. That was good.
So, but yeah, that's definitely one of those things. Veracruz is also a city, Argentina, Medellin, and like I think Cebu in the Philippines. Because I forgot they got everywhere. These people with these boats.
Pronounced Cebu.
Is it Cebu or Cebu?
I don't know.
It's probably Cebu. I'm butchering this pronunciation thing, but
Who cares? They understand.
I care sometimes.
We're teachers teaching class now. I guess.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, so oddly enough, the city was named after a Roman general. So
Wait, what?
yeah, so what is it? Quintus Cassius Metellus. So pious. So I don't know how that translates to Medellin, but
Later
sure.
named Biggest Dickus.
But yeah, this town started as a military base for his operation in Western Iberia during the Sertorian War. So in Latin, it was called Metilium. Medellin is well known because of its cultural heritage, with places like the Roman theater and an old castle and other archaeological sites. Anyway, so the place we're going to is Extremadura. So think of it's the poorest of the poor province, right? Where you got even the nobility's poor. That's what we're looking at here. So it's like
I'm the richest poor person there is.
Exactly. Still king of crap mountain, right?
Right.
So the only way to really get out, like I guess the ghetto of Spain, is to either cut a rap album or sell it to the man and go to war, or go explore and grab some of that sweet gold. Because around this time, right, we have 1492. That our guys, Cortés is born.
Before he was 1485,
Yeah.
1492, and he's not our guy. So
Yeah, that's true. He's not our guy. I'm gonna use terms like our guy, like that we're talking. I mean in reference of like
Our buddy.
no, not I'm not gonna use our buddy,
Our friend.
our subject. Just
There
think of
you
it as
go.
our subject, our subject in question. But
You use a lot of our buddies when referring to people of questionable history.
I didn't say our buddy. I said our guy.
Mm-hmm.
They meant it as a subject. That's all it was. But anyway, so the different places like are around there are all part of that, just being I guess a poorer cast of they still, I think to this day they're still using horse-drawn carriages and stuff, which is cool. It sounds like a kind of a quaint place to live. I don't think the poor necessarily relates to something that is bad. It's not like the Appalachians or whatever, because that's a weird kind of poor. But this seems more like a just real simple life kind of poor.
Do you know who used a horse-drawn cart Gandalf, and he didn't complain about it.
It's true. Well, I should take that back. Back in the day, this was kind of an Appalachians type poor, but around the time we're talking about, where it's just like, yeah, you got weird poor people things going on. But nowadays, it just is. You would call it a simple life place because it's more simple. But anyway, so people that came from there as well include Francisco Pizarro, which actually Hernan Cortés was related to. So the guy who, basically just destroyed the Inca, like so the terrible twosome, you could say.
So you mean to tell me that this man had was it a cousin, an uncle?
It was I think it was a second cousin, I believe.
It must run in the family.
Yeah, like there's a lot. There's another Pizarro, Gonzalo Pizarro, Juan Pizarro, Hernando Pizarro.
Hernando?
No, Hernando.
Oh.
Hernando. Yeah, Tornado Pizarro. Hernando de Soto, just to name a few of the conquistadors that came out of this area of Spain. These all came from the same province. Like I said, you either cut a hot rap album or you get you go on tour. And,
and your tour is navigating other uncharted cultures.
I saw, I praised the Lord, I break the law.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, so that's kind of like where the background of like Extremadura, and the name actually relates to like being that far away from a river. It's in the direction. That's where that name came from for the province. But I guess now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of everything. We've got the history, which brings us to a sickly boy who loved the LARP, Hernan Cortés. So Cortés was born in Medellin, like I said, in the province of Extremadura in the Kingdom Castle in Spain in 1485. So his father, Martin Cortés de Monroy, he was an infantry captain of distinguished ancestry, but slender means. I think it was related, one of the sources I read, where they said, my family was poor in stature but rich in spirit, is what Cortés said in his memoirs. Which, like, he had his own personal guy that wrote, like, a biography, so he probably wasn't too bad off. But, I mean, for medieval times, I mean, he's wearing...
Spruce it up.
He didn't have, like, 5 ships,
They were rich in the spirit.
His mother actually was named Catalina Pizarro Altamirano.
Arturo!
So that's where the Pizarros come from.
Oh.
And I am sure, like, they just threw the family, like, stuff around. They all about family pride. The Pizarro and, like,
Maybe that's where the
last
phrase,
names.
I ain't pissing around here. I ain't Pizarro in around here. Or a Pizarro world.
Pizarro world. But, either way, like, they were they're part of the I guess, wealthier class, right? So, like, they're, like, the wealthy poor people. But, so... It looks like,
middle class? Lower end middle class?
I don't know how that works with aristocracy, actually, because you're still nobles, but, like, I don't know how poor nobles work. I think you get, like, you're entitled to, like, certain land rights and stuff like that.
Your house just doesn't have holes.
But, like, I don't think it's middle class, because that didn't come back until after, I guess they could be middle class. But they weren't, no, that's, like, usually reserved for, like, merchant class people and, like,
business owners,
business owners and stuff like that made like the middle class. These guys are like,
don't buy what I don't feel like selling.
These guys are straight up like aristocracy, like born into like, my dad was a baron, he owned this, and then blah blah blah. Not, but I think the big thing is like one thing that I know Cortés. I'm just gonna read this because it's a great thing I found in my research. So I guess his mom didn't want. He had to get a different wet nurse because she did not want to breastfeed him because she thought breastfeeding led to excessive breast enhancement. So I guess she didn't want to get large boobs.
No.
So she just gave him to a wet nurse, which is like, that's such a yuppie thought. They're like, oh, I don't. Let me get my nurse to do this. Like, I was going to use a nurse
Marta,
name.
it's crying again.
Exactly. So there was that castle I mentioned, right? That was in the town. I guess they used to use that to play as a personal playground where they learned much, about the experiences.
Of course.
You got a LARP, right? You're just out there. Look, I'm a medieval. The Moors are coming. And I get, like, as a kid playing, like, soldier and stuff like that. Like, you do that a lot. But
I
it
wish
seems
I had
like
an abandoned castle to play in.
that's what a hashtag just just poor nobility things. Oh man, I don't get to play in the real castle. I have to play in the abandoned castle. Ooh, Mom.
Mom won't buy me a real castle.
One of these days, don't you know who
Not
my
until
dad
you're 12,
is?
son.
Dad, I want a Bardash now. So, yeah, him and his friends used to LARP, kind of, planning. They do their military strategy planning on their war table, back then. I'm pretty sure, which would he would utilize later on in his life for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, not really a lot is known too much. When I was looking, because I thought it was just we were gonna find some stories of just some petulant kid that just sickly and just got up to stuff, because it said it was mischievous. He's known as being like
A real Randall.
a real Randall.
Like from Recess.
Oh yeah.
The sickly, or the Randall from Monsters Inc.
Gotcha. I don't think I'm familiar with that property.
He'd be a real weasel.
So I think
He's more of a snitcher than he is an actual player. That's what I'm saying.
Like he's probably had snot coming down his nose all the time, but then as soon as somebody did something to him or pushed him or was mean back to him, he's
telling everybody in that
he's just
town.
and he just do stuff just to be annoying. You get mad and you pop him and he'd be like, Mom, and his mom probably come out.
He'd quote unquote go get his brother, and then you knock him down again.
He'd come out and get his mom. His mom would be like, you have the wet nurse pop out a boob for him and feed him. Probably.
I mean, is that a bad life though?
Well, it is when you're 9.
The wet nurse.
It is when you're 9.
I'm 31, but I'd like a wet nurse.
Okay, I guess that's your thing.
You know what I'm saying?
When do you hear from my dad? You were breastfeed until you're 32.
No, I'm not asking to be. Well, I'm asking to be breastfed in a different way.
So you want some old wet nurse to breastfeed you?
I just want something wet.
Get out of here, you pervert.
It's been too long.
Some rough-handed.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Hard life. It's not like the servants back then were just booming. They didn't have time for looks.
All I want to say is how dry I am. Water everywhere, but not a drop to drink, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the original episode title I was going to go with. But
nice.
Yeah,
that water everywhere. That's why you gotta cuff the pants. Get ready for the flood.
Anyway, so around the age of 14, his father finally saved up enough money to send him to Salamanca to live with his.
I'd be so pissed.
With his father's sister. So there was I don't know if she was of any notoriety. It sounds like she was a little bit, but to attend university there. And when we talk about university, it's more along the lines of kind of actual school, not college level. It wouldn't be. I don't think it would be akin to a college level education here. It's not like he graduated all the little steps. They didn't have school back then. It was just you're noble and you had a tutor, and then you went to university. But anyway, he found his studies, I guess, so to speak, boring. He would rather work on his horsemanship, and just that guy, that would rather do everything else. And his parents were we just want you to get a good job. We're paying for this. He's but I like this class. Yeah, Cortés wanted to be an adventurer. I don't even he practiced at war and being a soldier, which I guess which is interesting when we see opportunities come around. I'll get to in here in a second.
It'd be a cool field to get into at the time, but
Well,
adventurer, warrior. You know what I mean?
I think it's more along the lines of explorer, right? Because you had Christopher Columbus, all these people
Uncharted
getting
waters,
famous. Yeah,
New Horizons.
I thought about it when I was a kid. I wanted to sail a boat and discover new cultures. I didn't want to murder anybody.
No, I'd be a spice seller.
Yeah. Going back and forth from India to
it's cinnamon, guys. Come on,
dude. You got.
Where are you
cinnamon.
gonna? Where are you gonna put? You can
Bro,
put your rice. You can put your rice pudding. You put your rice pudding. You put
get
it in your
3 carracks and a couple galleons. Stock those bad boys full of cinnamon. And that's how you make money.
Turmeric.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
But Anyway, that's the life that Cortés wanted. So after 2 years, I imagine it's most, and the excuse he probably gave too was like, oh, it was just too easy. I just didn't feel challenged. Like, I guarantee you he was that guy too, where like he just wanted to like
At 14,
dink
he's a
around.
piece of shit kid. What he's doing is what he's doing. That's what he is.
So yeah, he at 14, he comes back at 16, right? So he comes back, and you know, I think he spent a lot of money out there too, that his parents didn't have, because he did have a habit of just like of gambling. One, at a young age, he loved to gamble, and also dressing higher than like what he like had, like, and just putting on airs and stuff like that. That was something I
Look
read
at
about
America
that.
today. You notice
So-
somebody rich, they're shopping at Walmart for slacks and a button up.
I guess
People
yeah.
who want to
These,
appear rich, they got that money up to the ear. Got a stack of cash.
these new explorer generation, remember, right, guys? Like, remember when we used to have values? Like, you know, you'd go to school to be a lawyer. You'd go to school to do that stuff. These guys don't here want to just search, you know, for gold and get lost treasures and find ancient ruins.
Yeah, if they had a camera phone, you know they'd be updating us every day.
Hey, YouTube, I'm just out here. We're
We out
waging war
here.
against the natives.
Look at these guys.
We're doing another surprise raid.
They don't even know how.
Oh, that would be so gross.
See, it'd be a bunch of videos where they're just putting jewels inside of the hand of a native, and they'd be like, "Look, I did something great." And they give like homeless people money.
I gave this native a 32 wampum. Wait till you watch till the end.
Story time. Hernando Cortés story time. I was attacked for being a good person.
I was basically just assaulted by my parents for not accepting the fact that I wanted to be an adventurer. They weren't about this.
They
and
don't
now I'm
understand.
showing them. Now I'm showing them. But anyway,
You know, his dad, when he got home and was like, "I want to be an adventurer," his dad was like, "Are you kidding me?"
oh, they were mad. Like they were like very disappointed.
This is back when you could slap your kids.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure like that happened. Like the dad was like the dad was actually a soldier, right? So I'm pretty sure like it was not.
Battle
Boys-
hardened, calloused hands.
Yeah.
You're getting hit
You're
with
getting
like an
hit with
entire steak.
Yeah, you're getting hit with somebody who fought like, you know, probably to help retake the country back.
You ever seen those men that have like those meat hands? Like they're just
Yeah.
it's just a solid.
I wouldn't want to get like, you know, like I said, I wouldn't want to get punched by one of those guys, right? But you know, this guy kind of wasted a lot of his parents' money. So at the time, yeah, I guess they wanted him to be a lawyer, which would provide a better place in society, right? Like learning law, and just like today, yeah, having a lawyer is a great job. But I think he got far enough to like learn just like the basics. So like now you have somebody who like he did learn. It wasn't he was stupid. Actually, the guy's probably pretty smart, right? But he definitely was. He played up a lot of things, right? Because he still was as far as I know, uneducated and had a hard time writing, as far as that goes, and like wasn't as like educated as the aristocracy. But we're talking about like back in the 1400s.
Well, I
or
know,
whatever.
but I mean, like you think that he would. I mean, I get it,
Mm-hmm.
but you think with this, like, is that why he failed? He was just like, I can't.
Probably. He's like,
My
"These
hand-
books are dumb.
My hand hurts.
It's going to be Christopher Columbus. It's not a P. It's not a P. It's a B. Oh, sorry. Columbus. My bad. You mad?
But you man, bro. My bad.
Yeah, he probably did that stuff too. Just interrupting the class. Like they just always just like interrupt and they're just like, get Cortés out of here.
And we'll get him out.
They're like sending letters back to the home. Hernando again stuffed some stuff down. Lady Elizabeth, small clothes. Again, we've asked you to please come get your son. Just come get your son.
We are done. Come get your son. It's just all it says. We are done. Come get your son.
We're going to hang him. We have rules in the book. We're gonna do it. Just come get him.
Would you rather have your son alive or dead? You figure it out.
Probably just saying, yeah, my dad back home, he actually owns Extremadura. You just
We have an
wait and see.
abandoned castle. Do you?
Do you have an abandoned castle? We have so many castles. They're abandoning the castles, okay? My playground was a castle, buddy.
My daddy fought the Moors. Did your daddy fight the Moors?
So, yeah, like I guess like after he got back home, he went on a tear. So like not only does he like embarrass his family by just going to school for 2 years, but he comes back home and does like a total like rebellious teenager, right? Like don't tell me what to do, blah blah, like just going around town. I couldn't find all the stories, but yeah, I guess he's just being disrespectful.
Coming home late at night,
And
stealing hubcaps.
They said mischievous, and I don't know like what you have to, like I said, I don't know. It's so enigmatic that like it becomes sinister. It's like he was mischievous. Like what did he do? Like they're so afraid to mention like what he did. Like they're just like, oh yeah, it's just boys being boys. Like, and boys being boys back then
Is at least a felony now.
yeah, it's like five felonies.
If not more. If not more. The degree of the felony does not need to be. It's a felony of a degree.
Oh, he just burnt Rosarita at the stake because she didn't fold his clothes right.
She didn't.
Boys being boys.
He was denied.
The milk was sour. Boys being boys. But so that leads us here. Yeah, he goes through the Rage Against the Machine phase, and basically what around the same time, King Fernando I actually ordered two big things here. So there was another war, I think, getting ready to go on with Italy, or there was some kind of campaign where he had the chance to become a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Or there was another one to the West Indies, another expedition that he was having set up on the West Indies. And so, of course, Cortés, he chose to be a soldier. No, he didn't. So the opportunity comes up to do exactly what he quit school to do, to learn how to do horsemanship, gunplay, and all the rest of the stuff. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to the Indies, boys.
Sorry, they pulled my card. I wish there was something I
wish
could
there was
do.
something I could do. Front line sounds like
I
good.
would love to be there with you. You know what I mean? But
I've been practicing my marching super hard over at the abandoned castle, but I mean, like selling, dog. I could be the next. I could be the next Christopher Columbo.
I could be the next Christopher Cross if you guys. Come on,
guys. You'll see me, and like when I make my millions, guys, I'm gonna shout you out. I'm gonna shout you out on all over the network. We'll drop the letters full send. And
I'll have you on my stream. It'll be cool. Which is a literal like stream of river or body of water.
I mean, because rather than fighting well-armed, and trained other men ready for battle, obviously exploration is the way to go when you've been training for being a soldier your entire life. If I had a choice to fight, an actual just thing to defend the homeland, or go take somebody else's homeland.
Seems to be like another person we're going to be covering soon.
Yeah, I'm just going to be
All I want to say is where he at.
But here's what happened. So after that, he decided to go with the exploration. Luckily enough, his father did know somebody. I think it was General or Governor Ovando, right? So he knew the governor. Had pretty good ties with him. So he gets his dad gets everything again set up, and oh no, tragedy strikes. So.
Your dad's calling in favors across the board here for your POS kid. And this kid, he cannot for once just think of anybody but himself.
I'm out here doing the window sneaking challenge. That's right, yeah. So he ends up hurting himself, getting an injury. The story goes he was on the roofs sneaking into a woman's bedroom, and I guess you know what?
Here's a good question.
I'm just going to read.
Mischievous or invited in?
I mean, he was a mischievous boy. So I'm just going to go ahead and read what the earliest the chronicler recorded here. So Cortés was to have accomplished this with the commander like so many other noble Spaniards. But in the meantime, clambering one night over some roofs close by his lodgings on his way to a young woman whom he had relations, he fell from the wall in ill repair, which broke under his weight. Whereupon he lay half buried in the ground, narrowly escaped being run through by a neighbor with his sword, and would have been so had it not an old woman darted out of her house, on whose very porch, which he had noisily crashed, and held back her son-in-law, so who'd also run at the same time. So it sounds just like kind of like maybe like an 80s caper, kind of a Porky situation. And then you find out the woman was married. And I think it was actually that guy's wife. He'd just barely been newly married. And I think that Cortés was just doubting and then just like hopping back out. He's like, Cortés. and then he falls off the roof and
We got a real mischievous guy here.
just out there mischievous and boys being boys. But yeah, so the severe bruises from this actually brought on a fever, which greatly undermined his health, and he couldn't do it. Oh, my bruises. So he waits till. So this is when he was 16, like when this happened, right?
He got the thermometers back then, huh?
I guess.
It was a real Ferris Bueller's Day Off
My
situation.
fever. But anyway, so this happened like I think when he was around 16, 17. But he actually didn't sit still till he was 19. So I've never heard of the 2-year fever, but I guess you got that 2-year bruise sickness. Like, oh,
This man's setting up. He's a real Ferris Bueller. He's heading down to all the cool ports in Spain.
he's just doing whatever he wants. But I thought
Go
that was,
ahead and drink some soup, son. You'll be fine. Get some sleep. Thanks, Dad.
yeah. Like so, he didn't sell out until he was 19 years of age.
Here's a question: did he have any siblings, or was it just him?
You know, I don't think he had any siblings.
Do you mean his sister wasn't following him around, getting mad?
Yeah,
Save Cortés.
Rooney.
You heartless wench.
Jeez. Somebody just shaking a little can.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Save the clock tower.
Yeah.
Hernando Cortez's day off, or 2 years off.
Didn't want to go to school, and then he comes back and just does the bay doubt. Who's his friend? Just Cameron or whatever. I don't know. Carlos, I guess.
I'll go. I'll go.
Take it out like his dad's Carrick. They wreck the galleon.
They wrecked the galley. That's what happens when you sell it backwards.
Yeah, a lot of this actually. It's funny that you mentioned that because a lot of the this period reminds me of, and I was going to pose the question.
Cortés was in Egypt land.
I was gonna bring that up was just that like this place reminds me of the 80s, like a lot of like, and I wonder if it's just like that spirit of like getting money, like it just you don't care about anything, but the only thing that's important is just getting that grind, like you're grinding. So you get scoundrels like this and just people that just do the Ferris Bueller thing, right? They're just like doing whatever it takes to get that money, because a lot of this stuff does remind me of the 80s, like when they were just abusing like all these systems and just doing whatever it took to get money. And you'll see that I think too along with this, so I think it's funny that you bring that up. But anyway, 2 years I guess is what it takes to recover from some bruises from falling out a window and having I don't know how a wall fell on you when you fell out of a window. Like you have to try, like unless the architectures out there is like they got walls by their windows. I don't know how that happens. If you're on the roof and you fall down, like how do you have a hole but whatever.
So it's a real 1920s black and white film situation.
Whodunit.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did recover from that. So that'll get to the part where we finally get to sail. So we're going
You think
to the
this
New
town
World.
threw a party the second this kid left? They were so sick of this kid just hanging around. Like the parents are like, "What's this party for?"
The parents seem to have just like disappeared. I think his dad's just like, I'm done. Like, because you don't see his dad calling any more favors for him.
You think maybe,
like,
okay? Do they ever reappear? Is the question. Do you think he pulled the ultimate POS kid and just killed his parents and then suddenly set sail?
His dad did die when he hits New Spain. So
okay.
yeah, I think or a little bit after he hit when they land in Hispaniola or whatever. But I'm wondering if this is what the situation, before we move on, is this. He's your only kid. Your wife had a sickly baby. This is your only progeny. Wife's probably just treasuring this guy, even though he's the biggest POS like ever, right? Because it's a miracle baby that he like the entire time. Even as I think Wetner said, "Oh, he's a miracle. It's a miracle that he survived. He's been on death's door so many times," and you're just like, "Oh."
She's pumping out muscle milk, if you know what I mean. So he survived.
It's the
Live strong.
the crow milk or whatever. That's what he was drinking. It's the crow-teen.
I guess they would call them the old crows, if you know what I mean.
Oh, jeez. But anyway, to that point, like this guy's getting that special kid syndrome pumped into him all the time. So I'm pretty sure like they said, "Oh, you're so special. You're a miracle baby. You're a miracle baby," and pumping that into him as well, right? Like, and this guy's getting that invincible thing. Oh yeah, I survived, my childhood, and I could do whatever I want. And like, the college years, like he's like, yeah, I went to school, and like just like kind of like building up this like LARP right in his head. And you can totally see this. Like, I mean, to be fair, Guy is 19 years old, going to sell halfway across the world on technology that's pretty sketch, right? Boats didn't fare well back then. There's a lot of people that just didn't make it, and that's pretty crazy. Like being that far away from your support system. So he wasn't a total like baby, like where you just couldn't do anything. But at the same time, he was the POS kid. Like he was that guy, for sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like I'm sure he probably like hopped on the boat like that he sailed on and was like, oh yeah, that cabin over there is mine.
Homeboy was probably lounging the first day he got.
Oh
on
yeah,
there.
not doing any of the like work or whatever. Like he's like, no. Like no, go clean the deck.
The homeboy's like tapping his feet. He's like, I'm waiting.
It's like bags, please. But
Just go ahead and put those on.
he did make an attempt to go to Italy, but he didn't get any further than Valencia, where I guess he spent nearly a year in dissipation and poverty. So, yeah, that was the first attempt. He tried to sell, like, not actually that far and ended up botching that up somehow. But I think he learned from here what needed to happen, or probably talked his way onto the next ship that got him over to Haiti, currently the Dominican Republic. So there was a party of 5 ships that he sailed with. I guess his ship met with bad weather and was the last to arrive. Of course.
I like the Melrose Place ship.
I didn't get that one.
You said party of 5.
Oh.
Melrose Place.
Wow.
Anybody?
Wow. Only boomers will enjoy this one. But anyway, he did. His ship was the last to arrive. I'd imagine. I would speculate that he probably, like we were talking about, he's like, I don't raise the sails. That's Pedro's work over here.
I raise the cells, but not those kind of cells.
Guys,
I'm sorry.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to be the next big explorer, right?
My
Big
name's
explorers
Cortés.
don't do that.
Come on.
My name's Cortés. Maybe book it, huh? Maybe get into the library. Go to the library and check it out. Check out the name.
Hashtag read about it. Can you even write? He's like, that's not my business.
That's not your business. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can.
I can write all
Why
sorts
don't
of
you
stuff.
get back to work?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I spit on you.
I'm the
Who are
captain
you?
of the ship.
Then let's get there.
That's how you get there. Cortés is on the brig
He
the
had
brig
to
again.
have. He had to have. No man, get toxic. He had to have been a decent talker, because right now he's been able to get himself out of a lot of things, and he's only a little over 19 now at this point.
Yeah, and so the minute he gets there,
Do you think
right.
he started talking so much, and everybody was just like, "All right, fine, we'll just do it. Just shut up. Shut up. You're not talking. You're not talking about anything that
I
has to
think
do with this shit."
what happened is he did such a bad job at everything, maybe
Oh, he's one of those guys.
that you just don't want to. If you have him do it, you're going to have to go back and redo the work.
So you just might as well do it from the beginning.
History doesn't back that up, but I would assume, because there's just a lot of stuff. And when you get to write your own biography, of course you're not going to put that, right?
No, but I mean, if you're doing it a bad enough job on purpose, somebody's gonna, I'll just do it. I'll just do it.
So I think that's what was
He's
going
that
on
guy,
there. Yeah, he's
yeah.
that guy that that does bad on purpose.
He's
Could
like-
probably do the job just fine and competent to do the job, but knows that if he does it bad enough, people just leave him alone. So I mean, it's a bold tactic. This guy's been bold so far, hopping out of married, just bossing his parents around after spending their little measly fortune, and it only gets better. But anyway, the minute he lands,
He's no Stanley Spadowski, I'll tell you that.
the minute this man lands over in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, what do you think he does? Because runs right. Because you remember Governor Ovando, the guy that was gonna go with originally. Came over. He came over a bit earlier, and this is where he went to when he sailed off on this expedition. Goes immediately to the governor. Governor's not there. I mean, I guess he was absent from the island at the time that he got there, but he was like, just goes and asks, and just registers as a there's a certain rank, I guess, his nobility afforded him, so he got some slaves and some other stuff for free, and some land just for being at least even a poor noble,
Just for having a name.
yeah. So he goes there, gets that, and the secretary at the time, I think it was somebody Medina, right, asked him to, hey, how about just take this, and this is a good place to settle down quietly, because we taking this over, because Haiti was it was pretty bad when they came in and settled that place. A lot of bad things happened to the Haitians and the native Dominicans. But he's always like, hey, it's calm. Why don't you settle down? And the suggestions of that settling Cortés is quoted in saying, with some bluntness, that he came for gold. I'm here for gold.
Money me now, please.
So he didn't come to settle down. He came to like, he came for gold. I'm here. Cha-ching. Basically, cha-ching.
Man rolled off the boat with like dollar signs in his eyes.
He's just like, gold, gold, gold. So here's where we start seeing
money, Cortés.
Yeah, that's Yucatan Cornelius right here. It's when the origin story. So, give it a little bit of time. There's a small rising, and this is actually an interesting story. So I kind of like went in depth a little bit about this. So we're going to kind of like shift focus here. But there was a rise among the natives. Specifically, it was Queen Anacoana, which means golden flower, right? I think that's want to put some respect on her name because her story is actually pretty cool. It was put down soon after with undue severity, so that's ominous. That was what the records state that it was done. So it looks like they just like and I'll kind of get in the story here. So the sources say in 1502, Spain named a new governor of Hispaniola. This is Nicholas de Ovando, who had different ideas about how to exploit the land for Ovando. So the most dangerous local, in fact, was Anacoma, who had become a queen during different mishaps of this colonization. A lot of people got killed. Her husband was killed, her father was killed, and she ended up uniting basically a lot of the tribes that were there. So of course she had to go, right? Because she was making moves. She was making money moves. She actually was able to negotiate peace with the Spaniards, and she did a good job. And Ovando was like, "No, bro, y'all are simping. This, no more
a
simping."
whole lot of money in this mode.
Yeah, basically, he just comes in with his poofy pants.
A whole lot of money.
With his poofy pants, looking like that guy on Pocahontas, who's like the bad guy with his big old fat butt.
He's.
Because Ovando was
I put
overweight.
on my jewelry just to go down to the bodega.
He's got those weird just those weird those weird trousers they always wore.
Why did they wear those trousers? What comfort do you get wearing something that hits that knee?
Well, it's the knee high, and then it's got the puffy butt. Got them puffy butt pants. So he's walking down. He's a lot of money in this movie. Anyway, she had to be gone. So basically, what ended up happening is he suggested a peace treaty. So she's thinking, okay, they're wanting to make a deal.
Oh, this poor lady.
And with 80 of the most influent Taínos, I think was the name of the tribe. So obviously, see where this is going, right? So while the Taíno were talking and suggesting strategies to have a friendly relationship with the invaders, while avoiding complete submission, the Spanish army entered the building.
Nice.
The most prominent figures were taken aside, and the building was set in flames, killing those inside. Those who were separated were tortured and forced to declare against Anacoana, and she faced a public trial, which is a farce. I guess the weird thing about these people is they do things by I guess so they could sleep at night. Is we had a trial.
It's
she
not
was
like
found
we
guilty.
didn't give her an opportunity to prove herself innocent.
Yeah. So she faced a public trial and was sentenced to be hanged for treason. So the official versions of the story is that right before being hung, she was offered the chance to save herself. So basically, she would be granted clemency if she became a concubine for one of the high-ranking officials. She spit on the dill, straight up boss move right there. She's like, nah. And so she was hanged. There's actually a famous picture of this happening. If you look it up, there's a picture these people did not treat the native population good at all. It's that when getting through this part kind of made me upset. And it's really just a lot of people don't realize and I know that this is an old hat idea to throw around, right? Why do we have holidays for these people? But it's so hard to celebrate these people for being they never gave up, and all the things they said, these people that were courageous. It's not courageous to go in and murder a bunch of people who don't have weapons, right?
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, erect a statue for all the losers. You know what I mean?
Well, they don't do that. That's the thing about history.
Oh, they do. Oh, that's the thing about.
Well, that's
America.
I guess that's something about America. We like to erect statues for losers.
But it's not heritage, it's history. So
I thought it was the opposite.
is it?
I don't know whatever the excuse they use. But so
Ooh, damn, she fine.
that's not the real picture.
She fine.
It's a wood carving.
Well, it's not a wood carving. I mean, I saw this one. I was like, okay.
That's an artist rendition. It's not like the real picture. It's not like they had Instagram back then.
Doesn't matter. It's a pretty hot rendering. Well, I don't know. Not that one, maybe, but
That's probably. Well, I don't want to disrespect. She's
no. I mean, all respect on her name, but she fine.
okay. But
I like those tattoos below her lip. What is this picture? She's supposed to be. I should just put hang, or is it the statue of her?
no, not the statue. It's the wood carving. It's got like them
You know that
burning-
wood carving's not going to last long unless you treat the wood.
or wood cutout or whatever they're called.
I'm gonna treat that wood. Oh, that's sad. They burnt her house.
Yeah, they did. They burnt that. Well, that wasn't the house; it was a meeting place. But yeah,
They burnt the town hall.
yeah, pretty much. Like
What?
so.
There, I felt like that was a move from the Patriot.
No, it was a move from the Patriot, also a move from Braveheart. I think it was like the standard go-to is tricky. Like, I mean, it was like they didn't know about it though. Like, these people didn't live in Europe. There's like the Europe go-to, like the playbook. It's like if you get invited to a meeting, like you better bring, especially if it's a peace treaty. Better watch out because the Europeans ain't playing. That peace.
Bro,
game.
no. Let's say Europeans. Let's say the Spaniards. Ain't playing.
Well, it's not just them though. The English did it. Like almost everybody that came over was just all about like hey, yeah, let's meet peacefully, suckers. Got them.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're dealing with people who've had to deal with other people who could speak their language, and now you're like,
You could just weasel your way into whatever. You have guns. Like that's it. Like you just have like
we have guns in the Silk Road. What do you guys have, huh?
The weird thing is like they had a lot like that trope gets played up a lot of these people that didn't have anything. They had really advanced societies, but they also had like a disadvantage from the migration of humanity coming over the Bering Strait and everything like that. So that's about the only thing I think that intelligence and they figured out how to do things that we couldn't do without the invention of the wheel and other things. So that's one of those things where it's frustrating to say the least. Me not being a part of that, I'm glad. I hope that we rectify stuff.
I hope
can't
that our
fix
family
it.
ties can't.
Oh, we're settlers, so I mean, yeah,
Don't say
it
that.
sucks. We are.
Hashtag not my people.
Sorry,
Nope.
but
Well,
anyway,
I'm the byproduct, I guess. Of a,
we're not settlers. But yeah, I'm a byproduct of it. Sucks, and it's not good. And I'm glad that we don't do that. I would condone that behavior now that I can.
clearly, we're both byproducts.
Yeah. But it's just like
Let the record show that I rub the skin.
I don't have a time. Well, I think one guy I watched Haas or whatever, right? He said I can't call up George. Let me get a phone real quick and call up George Washington and tell him he sucks. I can't do that. So I can't apologize. I can that really was bad, but that's about all I could do. This is just stuff that happened. It's history. I would say that my guilt lasted we better fix the modern day problems that that
What
been
you
caused from
can't fix,
this.
what you can now.
Yeah, those need to get absolutely fixed. But at the same time, it's like me getting mad over. I'm like, let me just call up these people and just tell them I'm mad at them, and they're lucky they didn't have Twitter back then because I'd have canceled them. So I'd have ratioed those tweets.
Ooh.
Some armchair Activision for you. But anyway, so while all that was happening, Cortés was rewarded with lands, more slaves, and I think he was kind of a part of that, like being a treasurer. Like he didn't really do. I don't think he really did any combat, and that's going to be.
You can't even write. How is he a treasurer?
Well, I don't think he's a treasurer, like a clerk would be.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's keeping track of the money that they are, like the gold and
So you
stuff
mean
like
to
that.
tell
they're
me he
getting.
like that guy from Cocaine Cowboys?
Well, the guy from Cocaine
the man who's
Cowboys.
doing the accounting. The man who failed school is doing the accounting, huh?
Yeah, kind of like that, but not as cool. 'Cause at least that guy was cool and was willing to do work. I don't know if Cortés was really willing to put his money where.
Did he pay on this bill? I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even want to say that because it sounds bad.
I
we're
was in the
putting work.
bathroom, so
but he was like, as much as like they call him brave, like the opponents he's already going up against, you'll see here, unarmed women, children, and like armed settlers with like Stone Age like weaponry, right? Like
He's like that guy that sued that 9-year-old.
but
and won.
to be even scared of those people, I'm not wanting to get in a confrontation with them, not actually fight, but I'm the clerk. Like, even though you have like steel armor and like swords and like muskets and cannons and basically just like like you're running the place, but you're like, well, what if I get hit with an obsidian sword? You know what I mean?
I could die.
I could die. But so he was rewarded for that.
What if I hand in this paperwork in your handwriting? I could get fired. You wouldn't want that, McFly.
He's a regular buff or Biff. Regular Biff.
I don't know if he was buff. I mean,
His on his account, from the biographies, it said he was well muscled. And,
oh sure.
everything else. So according to him, he was. According to him, he's the most handsomest man in the world. But so the next few years,
Maybe he is kind of a Cortés. I mean, how you making that kind of money with your skill set level?
I don't know. But anyway, the next few years were pretty uneventful, right? So as far as like massacring people, we kind of calmed down on that a little bit. He went back to farming. He like settled his lands with the slaves and did a lot more of that kind of stuff. I guess his reputation became somewhat of a gentleman colonist, if you will. I don't know if like that is a whole thing, but I could just imagine. He was definitely popular with his neighbors, ready to join in any kind of gambling, and he didn't mind whether he lost or won, because basically he just got a bunch of free money from slaves and writing down some numbers and making sure the king got his 10% or whatever it was.
You know, that attitude probably pissed a lot of people. I was like,
It's like,
You're like, oh,
so let's go. Well, during this time
like
too,
that's a whole year's wages.
during this time, he also went to get more slaves too. Like there was a little bit. I didn't include that in the blurb because it was like not really eventful, but more when they were over in Hispaniola, they went and like explored more to like push the conquest further and gathering more slaves as well. So, according to one source, women had always had a great attraction for him. And if you look at the pictures of Cortés,
I'm the most handsome man and the most humble too.
He does look like a wiener. Like he just looks like a
I know. I
nerd,
look
like
at
a
my
nerd.
mall. Come on, guy.
Like all the pictures I see of him, he just looks like a grumpy old nerd. But
How true are
one
those
source-
pictures is a question too. Was he getting mad? He's like, I don't look like that. And they're like, are you sure?
Probably not. He's like, yeah, this is pretty good. So let me read this source here. So women had always a great attraction for him, and brought him at this time more than once into irregular brawls, sudden affairs of the knife and dagger. In all, he came off safely. A white scar under his lower lip alone told of a narrow escape. At the same time that he was farming and gaming and making love, he was making money. That's right, 80s baby. I love that he got a scar underneath his lip, and it was probably from farming, and it was probably from some stupid injury, because they said the knife came out and all the rest of this stuff, but like the scar underneath his lip was probably from something so stupid. He's like,
He was probably being shaved.
and he's like, yeah, I got that in a fight. Girls just can't keep their hands off me. Husband's getting jealous.
Reminds me of this kid that I knew back in the day. He looked like a wet snake all the time. Like his hair was just matted to his head. But somehow he was rolling with like one lady under his arm, but this kid like blow away in a strong
Well,
wind.
it's amazing what you can do when you can buy people.
I don't think he bought
Well,
them.
not
I don't
then.
understand.
I'm talking about Cortés. This is back in the day where you have money, and gold does whatever you want it to do. You have slaves, so rolling up the thick is.
All
not
I
really
know is
hard.
if you have your hair glued to your head, like how you getting women? I go in for a regular haircut.
It's probably because he just doesn't care. I don't know. But Cortés didn't either, obviously. So that moves us over to 1511. And that's when Diego Valdez, our entrusted mayor of Hispaniola, was entrusted with the command force to subjugate, I guess this is where we're going into Cuba. So basically he gets a command from the king to say, hey, we need more stuff and we need more resources. So get your butt over to Cuba, because we heard about that from all the rest of the expeditions we have. So he's like, oh, I know just the guy who's going to come with me. We're going to get some glory. And so this is where Cortés was made clerk to the treasurer. That's right. Now this is where he gets a promotion. So with the responsibility of making sure that the king of Spain
didn't
got
even care.
1/5.
He has so much money. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, I mean, well, these people like cared about glory, right? Because
But he's like
this
an
is how you move
assistant
up.
to the regional manager.
But
So
you're climbing up the corporate ladder.
I understand you're climbing up the corporate ladder, but if you don't care how much money you win or lose in like a gambling game, now you know he's probably like sweating.
Oh, he was probably, yeah. He gave the appearance he didn't care, but he was going home just like probably writing lists about like
my
this guy.
God.
I'm gonna put this guy under the ground. You just wait till I get bigger and
You just wait till that money. You sleeping on me now. You just wait till that money comes
wait
in.
till Cortés Inc. comes in. We rise. We up. Cortés comes up. Wait till the king's like, hey Cortés, I need you by my side. You'll see.
Homeboy's
Also-
putting on DMX on meet me outside.
Yeah.
Meet me outside. In those
Look
puffy
at me like
pants.
that, Hernando.
Ooh.
Freaking Alvarez over there trying to tell me, clowning me, telling me jokes like that. Yeah, he's muttering all the way home. But
Just throw the game or.
you better report that I didn't get mad about this. Probably just like, he's the kind of guy, like, just more mischief probably got up to. He probably took dumps in people's, like, whatever it would pass for their yard over there in their property. He probably just, like, took, like, poops, like, random poops. Just, like, he's that guy.
You
So,
wanna know something
nighttime
funny
mischief.
that you were talking about, the nighttime mischief. My ex-brother-in-law's child, I guess, just apparently in the middle of the floor yesterday, just plopped his trousers and just took a shit. I got a text. He was like, "Is this normal behavior?" I'm like, "I don't know. None of my kids have done that."
I don't think I ever had a kid do that. That's your kid's Cortés.
I'm a rough rider, BBS.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Probably go whistling. He's like, and then I excreted my night soil on that man's lawn. And then just like,
That door says, "Son of a bitch, pooping on my lawn again."
probably like, this is gonna sound so bad, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And then like he probably took it out on one of like his servants.
Oh, sure.
Like the guy.
So they're like, "Oh,
found the poop.
did you shit on my lawn?" He's
like,
like,
no.
"No, that was him."
Oh yeah, like actual aristocrat's gonna come over and poop on the lawn. Yeah, right. This is the guy. Get over here.
I know. Oh, yo, Cortés, you gotta control your slaves. Why are they pooping on my lawn, bro?
Sorry. But so it just gets better. All right.
What are we dealing with? Like Cortés, the modern El Barto?
Pretty much. So he gets promoted to clerk to the treasurer, with the responsibility making sure, like I said, that the king gets his 1/5. And from there,
That's really
they
not
sell.
a bad like portion to get. You get like 1/5 the gold, but like
No, the king gets 1/5.
that's what I'm saying. He gets 1/5 the gold, but you get to keep the rest. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The other 4/5 of that gold.
Well, it didn't go to Cortés. It went to like the crew. But-
You know he was taking a good portion of it.
Probably was. None of these guys did math.
He's sneaking it under the table. He's like, "Yeah, I gave you 5." He's like,
They're like, "What's 5?" I don't math.
he's like, "I
Thanks.
got you." Who went to college?
Yeah,
Did
that
you-
was definitely a conversation that happened. So
You
Diego,
didn't graduate though, bro. That doesn't matter. I went.
never said that. He's all, you tested me? I left early because I was too smart.
I told my professor how to teach the class, and he got mad.
But I guess so. To kind of get back into this, Diego himself. So Diego's on this expedition. Was ill suited for fighting on account of what he called his portly build. Basically, he's just fat and old. So it allowed Cortés to have like a bit of a freer hand, I guess.
Yeah, he was sneaking money under the table.
Well, here's the funny thing. We talked about like the LARPing, and so Diego was quoted saying to his letter, I guess to the king, was he said that Cortés seemed to be everywhere at once, carrying out maneuvers, marches, never taking the credit due to another, but never permitting another to come before him either in council or execution. Rather himself coming before many, by which means he got himself very much liked by the soldiers and highly esteemed by his chief. So this guy is out here doing marching maneuvers, and acting, giving people orders and going around these military LARP stuff that he was practicing back in the castle.
That fucking clerk just told me to
And I guess people were like, okay. I look at it as like an example, like when you have that goofy guy, right? And he's like, look at this monkey go. Like these guys were like that came over were like all war, like a lot of them were doing soldiering. Some of them were poor, but a lot of them were pretty gritty dudes, right? The people who were actually like fighters, like doing the deeds, right? It wasn't a lot of these nobilities that were like, yeah, I killed the natives. Those people were like, a rather portly build. I can't get out to the battlefield today. I'm rather portly. And so,
if I move from this chair, it means you're not doing your job.
Exactly. So I mean, management like really never changes. So in the case of this, it seems like you got that one guy that the nobleman that's out there trying to be like like the tough guys. He's like, oh yeah, guys, look at this, I can fight. March, like doing like the LARPing. He's like, flank right, flank left. They're like, what is this guy doing? Whatever. Just like, okay.
Just carry on with
Hey,
the drills,
Cortés.
I guess. Let's go.
He's like, I'm gonna like this guy because he's the treasurer, and like if I say he did a good job, and I'm like, yeah, it gives me a couple bucks.
You might
extra.
move up the ranks, and
He's basically could like be in a position where he could pay people off to do that. So, kind of to explain the invasion of Hispaniola, now known as Cuba. So while we got this guy traipsing around looking like Joker from when he's in front of the kids doing the dance stuff or whatever, that's what I imagine him looking like in the movie. The scene from the Joker, he's just doing the thing and the gun falls out, like that scene.
what do they call those? The guns? What were the guns of this time?
I think they were just. I wouldn't want to say they're not muskets because that's a different design. It's just the flintlock pistols and rifles, I think. It could be a musket too, but yeah, it was that design. So just marching
Slow
around doing
reload and just
a powder loaders or whatever. So to quote like kind of like what this went here, Diego set out from the first Spanish settlement in Cuba. With orders from Spain to conquer the island. So the settlement was at Barroca, but the new settlers were granted with stiff resistance from local Taino population. If you remember the Tainos, they were also on the other island, right? There was this chief. His name was, I think,
two sects of Tainos. Because they were on the one island, then we go to Cuba, and they were also there as well.
Yeah, I don't think they were different. I think it was the same native people. So,
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it's two different groups under the same banner.
Yeah, I think they were part of the same tribe, just different islands. So, so the chieftain, his name was Hatui. He like had actually relocated from where they came from to escape the brutalities of the Spanish rule that was going on. And I guess it took them over 3 years to get these people because they were just doing guerrilla warfare. These guys were not they went from playing or like not playing to or playing around, not really playing, but just didn't know to like not playing at all and just giving these guys a run for their money. That says a lot, right? Because like at first they were trying to offer an olive branch, and like these guys had guns, these guys had cannons, these guys have like resources coming in, and they have like all of this stuff going on, and it took them 3 years. So we're gonna give a shout out to Hatui, a big shout out for organizing that. That's a madman. Swam all the way from wherever, took a boat or like stole a boat, did whatever to get to this next island and organize some stuff. While we got Cortés out here just playing games. So unfortunately, they didn't go their way, right? Because I think they did actually try to. There was an account where the 3,000 villagers at one point, on one point in the island, tried to greet the Spanish with loaves of bread, fishes, and other foodstuffs, and they were just killed without problem. They just got murdered.
These guys,
Yeah,
these natives are really trying to be nice.
I mean, and it's like multiple stories. Like, okay, well, maybe we got off on the wrong foot because I can imagine like maybe there might be they're thinking, oh, maybe we miscommunicated, and maybe that's what happened. Maybe we just like we got to try and improve it. So this time we'll come out with food and all the rest of the stuff to show them we don't want to fight. And,
we want none of this.
And yeah, they got taken advantage of. So for all of his games and all of the rest of the stuff, our subject, Cortés, was appointed the mayor of Alcalde. That's in Santiago. He received more slaves and land.
Wow.
And he
This is like a right time, right situation for this guy. Because in any other area, you know that it wouldn't play out. But like,
yeah, he would have been stuck, like just nowhere. But
somebody
anyway.
would have just clocked him. But like,
And this is where I kind of like, this is speculation on my part, but this is where I'm saying like, I don't think this guy saw combat. I think he was LARPing, like, and he was not, I mean, doing anything. He would give orders and do that thing, but it's like, oh, well, you know.
this
Just
homeboy
kind of like-
is trudging through the jungle, like chopping things down with that sword that he has. But the second there's probably any sort of
Oh, yeah,
battle
he's just
or
like,
fight,
hey, guys, surround me. Yeah, like.
he's all right. You guys go, and then he just sneaks quietly
Yep.
off to the back. And
That's-
then, of course, once they take over the city or the tribe, he's the first one
One
in there
in there.
going, "I did it."
We get it, guys. Yep, Cortez is in here. That's exactly the vibe.
He
man.
probably like sticking, like getting some little bit of blood off the natives, wiping it on his.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh, man,
I
tough
fought.
day out there, right?
Look at me, I fought.
But so I think that's kind of the vibe I got from him as well.
This piece of shit.
It really is. But this is where it starts. It just keeps getting more and more the more we explore this guy. So after this is all said and done, he settled down in the land with a guy named Juan Juarez. So he was a native of Grandia. So I guess he might have been another guy from, I think, Spain as well, but just a different province. But I think his brother-in-law was married to. There's like a family connection between him and Diego. So, it doesn't take long for the peace, right? There's a little bit of a downtime, but just like everything we've talked about with Mr. Cortés, he just cannot keep his member in his trousers. He just
Wow.
can't do it. So again, his attentions to a woman he was involved with led to another dispute, which it gets ludicrous here. This story had me laughing when I read about it. But so what ends up happening is Juarez, the guy we talked about, drops in. He brought over his 4 sisters and his mother as a chaperone from Spain, and of course our homeboy, not our homeboy, but the homeboy Cortés, right, pulls up, and they're poor, but they were described as poor, buxom, of good birth, but indiscreet, and eager to make successful marriages with
What the hell does that
colonials.
even mean? Like, you're poor, but
But so Cortés was attracted to the 4th and most handsome, I guess, out of the 4 sisters. So there was a varying degree of beauty.
He's all gross. I mean, you're acceptable, I guess.
But he lays pipe. So after a relationship proceeded, he drew back and refused to marry her. And like culture back then, like if you're laying pipe, you need to be getting married or like something there, right? Like especially if that's the agreement, like, and they're not prostitutes or it's
But
unfair.
# they didn't believe all women, so he can. I'm sure he
Well,
weaseled his way out of this one.
Actually, this time they do believe the women.
Oh, really?
So this causes a huge problem, like because he came in, took some stuff, and like it's already not looking good as far as prospects go because like dowries were huge, right? So if you're not getting much, you better be good look. It better be unsoiled or unspoiled or whatever back then. If you're not getting money, you better be looking good because marriage was much more of a power proposition.
A
right?
really
It
Quincy
was-
situation here.
It was a business proposition. It wasn't like romance. It was like, what am I going to get from taking you on, and what can I get from your family? And if not, I can't get anything. You better be,
Believe me, if we worked like that today, I'd be a rich man.
okay. But anyway, so they went and complained to the governor, right? Diego.
This man pooped the bed, and now I can't do this.
No, I'm pretty sure that 15,000 people pooped the bed. They can't do this. AJ's
I mean,
always pooped the bed.
aside from the slavery, I don't enjoy that. But I mean, this man just out here, just working his way up the ladder, just talking to people.
It was the 80s of the 1400s, but it wasn't the
Wow.
1480s. It was.
I wish it was. Well, no, technically it kind of was. I mean, no, 'cause
No,
they're back in
It's
there.
past the 80s. This is like,
We're in the grunge era of the 90s or of the 1400s.
they were in the new metal, actually, the new metal area.
Really?
Well, it's 1511, I think is where we're at. So, I don't know what music was hot in 1511. Dubstep. They're the dubstep era of the 1500s. But anyway, So this all goes on. They're mad, and I guess the governor himself was kind of hot for the second daughter, so that's why he listened favorably to the claim made by the several friends and family. Plus, they also threw a little bit of spice in there with some like, well, also Cortés is like plotting against you. He's been saying some stuff that isn't very like some treasonous stuff about Diego, which or just being disloyal.
He probably
at the same
was.
time. So
he probably reached climax and said something that was like just unfavorable. He's like, "Fuck Diego." They're all, "Yo."
Why was everybody in his house?
They're all, "Who that?" Huh?
Why was everybody in his house? And
I don't know. Who cares? You know, he probably just hitting it in the street. Tell me, he's all, "Tell me I didn't. Tell me I didn't." They're all, "We watched you, bro." I'm Cortés.
See what you do. This is if I were Cortés.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he probably just like talked his way out of that one.
Yeah, he probably did.
It's a real prestige moment here we got.
So I mean, as far as like that going, that's why he like kind of lent an ear. So anyway, they get done complaining about him, and he's like, okay, well, he needs to either marry her because he said he was going to do that because he's like, yeah, we'll get married. It's all right. We'll just do just the tip. Like he's that guy. He's like just saying whatever, and he like got in.
He playing that like, the head's still good though game.
Yeah. And I guarantee he's like, yeah, I'll marry you. We're going to do all this stuff. And then he's like, I'm off to...
Let me put the head in.
But the mayor or the governor's like, no, you got to fulfill your part of the deal. Oh, you're going to jail.
So come on,
so
I thought you were cool.
he got arrested because he's like, nah, I'm good, bro. He didn't do it. Like he's not. I'm not gonna get married. You can throw me in jail all you want, buddy. So he gets chucked into jail.
He hitting him with that boom, boom, and then like, slamming that door in his face.
So rather than sitting there, he breaks out and escapes and goes to a sanctuary, right? Like a church. Like that. It's like the Switzerland, right?
So you can't touch me in here.
I'm in church. I'm in sanctuary. You can't touch me. Yeah. So he went there, right? And I guess one day when he was out on the porch, like not paying attention,
dumbass,
he was recaptured by the government's guards and placed in the iron and then thrown back into a ship, this time in the harbor for jail. Again, though, he breaks out.
How is he doing this?
Just throwing the thug life glasses on.
Deal with it.
And letting himself, down into a small rowing boat. Like this guy, like. He's such a scum. Like he's just the biggest scumbag. Like, you can't keep somebody like this down because they're so scumbaggy. It's almost funny. Like this is like laughable. This guy would be actually pretty funny if it weren't for like all the people. Like, I guess he didn't really murder.
So was our
anybody.
little brother, but
yeah,
it's funny in story. But like when you have to be firsthand experiencing, the governor's just like, come on, bro.
But
why are you making this harder for me? Just do your job.
Just do your job.
Just do what you said you would do.
Just marry him. He's like, no, I'm not doing it. But so he gets out again, like I think for the second time in the rowing boat. So he took the rough weather. This is how bad this man did not want to get cuffed. So in rough weather, he took
that bad.
It must have been because he was in rough water in a rowboat, like in the ocean.
You risk jail twice in rough waters. Like that girl's self-esteem is in the toilet right now.
But he had some secret bundles, I guess.
Outhouse.
Some secret documents or something like that tied to his head that he had to save. I guess he had some dirt on somebody, or I'm not sure. They didn't really go into detail what the secret documents were, but he had some some of that.
He had some Polaroid.
Something on somebody, yeah. But yeah,
tied to his head, huh?
The quarrel ends up getting patched up, right? And I'm pretty sure it had to do with those secret documents, because I'm pretty sure Diego has probably stiffened the king something, and that's what he was able to get and kind of say, look, I got this ledger, so we're gonna patch things up. And so he's all, I'll keep my end of the bargain, but I'm not going back. Because he broke out of jail twice. And you have to do something. Like that's like, I got to kill you now. Like pretty much like with the way systems work back then. It's like, you keep getting out, but you've defied me. And if you defy me, then I'm going to look powerless in front of my people. And I can't have that as governor of Cuba. So I'm pretty sure he was able to that's how Cortés was able to patch up the relationship with the papers. But, so I think that Diego's recorded saying he didn't really care about the disloyalty that much, but it was more like not amazing. Oh yeah, it's okay. So he he was probably doing something that was like, yeah, this gets over to the king. He's like, I'll send it full send.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's some dirt on some people. But I think
He's like Crazy Eddie's car sales. He's like, I got red cars, I got green cars.
it really was. It really was like a weird time. We're kind of getting quite where we're gonna take. This is gonna be a two-parter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So because we're gonna stop like right before we get into him going to actually the Yucatan, and so after this, there's another whole scandal that he gets into with Diego yet again. More controversy to come, but he did regain his position in Velasquez's favor, and in the years that followed, became like an alcalde, which is like a post corresponding to, I guess, an English mayor. So like he had a lot, like he went up from like being just a clerk and like a mayor of the province to being like a mayor.
He went up from being like a poor, like rich person to being like
Just
a
running
correspondent,
things.
just pen paling the mayor in England.
But it was more like he just had like a lot of judicial powers.
Yeah,
along with
but that's what I'm
so-
saying. Like he just the rise of power.
Yeah, he's now writing laws. He's like, yeah, I can, I'm judge, jury, and executioner, so give me the monies. But we'll save the next part for when we're going to the Yucatan for the next episode.
I don't even understand this man.
Yeah, regular old scumbag.
How you wreck out of jail twice?
I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously he had to have some kind of skill, like, because he must. I think he had when he rolled his character stats. He definitely put a bunch in charisma. He dumped everything in charisma and like probably dexterity. Like, and that was it. Like
He John Dillinger his way out of jail twice.
yeah, he like has weak con because he's all sickly and stuff like that. And his intelligence is okay. But yeah, this guy dumped every extra point he could in charisma.
He's smashing raw out here too, so he just doesn't care.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was more along the lines of he was rich. So I don't know if that was consensual or not.
Probably wasn't.
No.
Well, I don't know. She's, poor family.
Well, yeah, I mean that's how you
Being
get
told
step
that
up.
being told that a rich person, but you gotta give it.
I make that. Well, that's the whole transaction about marriage. Like, I don't know. Like, it became romantic like around.
Well, that's what
a
I'm
modern
saying,
concept.
but I mean, he backroom deals with his family just to get a good look at her by himself.
Oh yeah, definitely. He was just
That's
like,
what I'm
yeah.
saying.
He's like just coming up probably with the box. He had like the slick back, coming with the box of roses and just hamming it up, And they're just like, okay, that's gonna be
special
good.
soundtrack he used to play. He used to have one of his slaves play.
Just in the background, makes his slaves like say, "Hey, welcome to Cuba," or "Welcome to." Spell it on the ground.
He calls one of them mixtape because he knows all the songs.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, get in here, mixtape. I made this for you.
He probably did do that kind of stuff. Yeah, this guy,
He's a piece of shit.
he's such a character. He really is a POS. Just from like you could just see, I love that whole mischievous thing. That's why I was like, we got to do a story on this guy.
Well, I'm excited for part 2. I hope the rest of you guys are. This was an interesting path down a bunch of information that I didn't know. Shout out to Anaconia. You fine? Hit my line up sometime. You know what I'm saying? Bang my line, 911. You know what I mean?
I got to report my brother for being a necrophile.
Huh?
Dude, you can't shrug. She's been dead for like hundreds of years.
Bro, she can come back. I watched The Mummy. Just need the Book of the Dead.
She's some dusty.
Need the Book of the Dead and a willing participant.
Wow. We've fallen so far from grace.
Anoxunamon. Well, I hope you guys all like this new format of Deep Dive Daddies. The new Deep Dive Daddies, because I do, and I believe that there are better, or not better, but more episodes to come.
It'll get better too, I think.
And I'm pretty sure Cortés is going to be coming in a lot more of these episodes, if you know what I mean.
But I only want to give the guy 2 episodes. He's a piece of garbage.
He is a piece of garbage. As you know the drill, hit us up, deepdivedaddies@gmail.com. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. As far as the brews go, We getting some stuff ready for that.
Yeah, I got a couple of stories prepared for when we visit Mesoamerica again. I think I'm gonna either
We
do.
visit Mesoamerica again.
I think I'm gonna do one for the people, right? The people that we're taking advantage of. There's a lot of great history there. A lot of like really awesome, actually brave people.
Actually brave,
Actually-
dope warrior
Yeah.
outfits.
So
We got a lot of good things coming down the pipe for you guys. So as we close out on this episode, we'd like to thank you for hanging on with us in this journey. We're hoping that you come back for part 2 of Hernando Cortés, aka Yucatan Cornelius.
gold.
Is it Yucatan? Or is it?
Yeah, Yucatan.
Okay, I said that right.
Gold.